These guys are so cute. They're exactly 4.5 weeks old today. And if you saw my last video, right at the end we had this big fly infestation in this. I put together this tough shed with a heater and air conditioner, and I don't know what was going on, but it's got this AC in the back and a little space heater inside, and it's worked really great. And for some reason, it doesn't really smell bad inside, but I think it was just maybe the night light and the right time of day and all the flies. When I had like 10,000 flies. So today I am going to spray this. I kind of made this little dog door out of just a towel that I shredded. It's been working pretty good. And now I'm going to spray this whole thing with, it's basically I put my own spray bottle. It's a permethrin concentrate. And I can basically dilute it to any strength. And usually if you buy fly sprays, they're at like 0.1%. And I actually dilute this to 1%. So it's actually 10 times stronger than a regular fly spray. And it doesn't really smell at all, which is weird. It's kind of weird. But these guys are so cute. With this many dogs, I think this dog pen's going to fill up fast. 7 puppies. So for these puppies, for water, I've been putting multiple bowls just to make sure they always have water. In case they spill one or mama drinks one. These guys are great. Little baby got another bottle. So, while I'm out here working on the cows and spraying them for flies, I'm kind of pondering, how many cows do I really want? And so basically I run my cattle operation. As you can call it, a cattle operation, I guess. Some people call it a petting zoo because my cows are so friendly. So I'm actually thinking about selling some cows. And then you always think about, well, which cows do I want to sell? What's my goal? And how many cows do I want? And you know, I wish I could keep them all, but I can't. It just gets unmanageable. So I've been thinking about this for a little while, and I've made a decision on a couple. So I'm going to sell Horace here. This is the one I've been feeding grain. And actually Penelope over here is her calf. And she's the friendliest one of the whole bunch. And actually, so I would sell Penelope and Horace together. And Penelope is pregnant, I'm sure, again, because it's been about 3 months since she's had a calf. And running with these bulls, for sure she's pregnant. So actually, when you sell a pregnant heifer or pregnant cow and a calf, it's called a threefer. So basically, you're getting a 3 for 1. So it's basically you're buying 3 cows. So I'm advertising it right now on Craigslist, actually, as a threefer. I really hate to get rid of any of them, but I'm getting so many. It's got to make some decisions. And usually for a girl that's this friendly, you definitely get a premium. So one of my big selling points is my cow is as friendly as a puppy, and I usually can get quite a bit more. And a lot of people actually, when they're paying more and buying them as a friendly cow, a lot of people keep them as pets, believe it or not, and they use them for, you know, the agricultural write-off on their land taxes. that's what most people do. So so those two are going pretty much for sure. And I have two down in Pueblo that I'm thinking about selling. I'll probably sell those two. And then this girl here, this is Iris's. So she's half Jersey, half Angus. And I'm not sure if I want milk cow in my herd now, mixed in with the Angus. So usually if you have something that's half Jersey, half Angus, it sells for less than a pure Angus. But she's pregnant, so, and she's probably due late summer, I would say. So it's basically like a 2-for-1. So you still get pretty good money for her. And her calf will actually be 3/4 Angus. So that would actually be a pretty good beef cow. And if you're like I am, it would be a pretty good pet. And she's always been real pushy and not real friendly. So I don't really know why, but she's kind of one of my more standoffish cows, I guess you would say. And that'll thin out the herd. So I actually have 10 cows, so that'll bring me down to 8. And then the 2 in Pueblo. And then I still have a couple more to calve. So then, actually, I would just have, let's see, I would have 2 more. So that would bring me up to 10. And if you look at my feeder, it actually has 12 positions on the feeder. And I'm actually using 1 position to feed, so that's 11. So that would be perfect for me. So I'd actually have the whole thing full except 1 slot, which is kind of nice because then they can, instead of pushing each other around for that last spot, they can have an open spot to kind of feed a little bit better. So it's always hard getting rid of cows because you really want to keep them all. I considered getting rid of one of my bulls, but they're just so awesome. I think I'm going to keep them both. So I just changed the bedding in this dog house, tough shed, and if you remember my last video, there was just swarms and swarms of flies all over the place. And what I did is I've been spraying this little, it's kind of like just a towel that I screwed on here, and I kind of shredded for the dogs to get in and out. And I've been spraying it with that fly spray for the cattle. And so today is another day. It looks like, I caught a bee. Wow. It looks like I caught 2 flies and a bee. Well, it looks like we solved the fly problem. Oh, here comes a puppy. I was just feeding them, so they were outside eating. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, huh? Oh my goodness, huh? Oh my goodness. Oh, he's so playful, so playful. And they're so happy to be away from those flies, huh? Yeah. So I'm working in the snake room again, and usually when my ball pythons go into the breeding season, they go off feed for a long time, and they don't eat until they lay eggs. And I thought for sure this girl was going to lay, and you can see she's kind of hunting for a rat. And I have a big rat here. I think she can eat one this big. This is probably the biggest one I ever gave her. But I thought she was going to lay, and then she went back on food. This is my biggest, humongous ball python. And I think she'll take it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this doesn't look so big now that she's wrapped around it. But, so I was talking to another breeder that's local here, and he actually had some ball pythons that started eating, and then 2 weeks later they laid eggs. So I'm thinking at some point we need to go through these snakes. I think I paired up 23 this year, and I think I had about 10 that laid so far. So, and I know some won't go for sure, because I paired up Lucy. She's not going to go. I actually did an ultrasound on her, and I thought her follicles were really big, and then turns out they're, I don't know what I was looking at, maybe the wrong thing. I looked again, and so the follicles are basically the the undeveloped eggs. And at this point, they should be really big, you know, almost the size. They get to about the size of a chicken egg. You know, they get about half that big, you know they're going to go for sure. But I think what I'm going to do at some point is go through and ultrasound all the ones we have left and kind of see where we're at. Oh, look at all the puppies. So I'm out here feeding the puppies, playing with the puppies. And I keep thinking about those flies that got into this tough shed. And if you look back at my video, there's like 10,000 flies that went in this thing. I couldn't even believe it. And at first I thought, oh, this is the worst thing ever with all these flies. And it was nasty, disgusting, and gross. But come to find out, it was actually the best thing that's ever happened. And you know what happened is, I'm coming over here to change Chicote's water. Look at Chicote. Look at Chicote. Oh yeah. So I've been walking around here with the cows and the barnyard and everything, and all the flies are gone. It's like there's hardly any flies. And the weird thing is it didn't smell bad in there with the puppies, and I can't figure out how all those flies got in that tough shed. What attracted them? I mean, if I could do it again, I would pay good money to get those flies back in the shed, because you know, I spend a lot of money every year. It's one of the big expenses that you have to plan for, you know, to get rid of the flies. And somehow they all got attracted. I mean, all the way over to the cows even. Like for acres around, they all got moved over to in that tough shed. And when I sprayed them and vacuumed them and whatever I did, I think I killed almost all the flies in the whole neighborhood. I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm out here with the puppies, kind of rinsing off their bowls in the water. And I actually saw a puppy come out of the doggy door. So let's see, they are 4 weeks and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 weeks and 5 days old. Yeah, and they can come through the doggy door. Just like mama. Oh my goodness. Then it's a pretty substantial doggy door too. It's got the double flaps with magnets on the bottom. Come on puppies, come on puppies. Woo. These guys are growing like rockets. Wow. Wow. Look at all the puppies. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Come on. Come on. Oh yeah. There's 4 in one bowl and 1 in another. There you go. I almost need another bowl. I guess it's alright. Wow, these guys are growing fast. So put some dry food in that bowl and all the puppies piled on top of it. I don't know if that's a good idea or not to feed them dry food at this age, but I'm going to have to figure out something else for the dry food. Alright, so coming back into the reptile room here, and I decided to do a little ultrasound on my snakes, and I just happen to have an ultrasound, believe it or not. And it's this little thing right here. It fits like in a little laptop bag. So I'll kind of give you an update about what's going on here. So we're kind of right in the middle of the ball python breeding season. I've had 11 snakes lay eggs. I have a total of 90 eggs that have been laid. If you can believe it, that's incredible. And out of those 90, there's 82 good ones that have gone through the hatching so far. I've kind of peeked in the tubs, and I think I see 2 or 3 that have gone bad besides that. So, and right now we have 30 hatchlings in this hatchling rack right here. So that leaves another 52 that'll hatch. So, and I bought this ARS 1065, and just those hatchlings will fill this whole thing except for 12. Which means, and the other thing is we're only halfway through the breeding season. So I have another 10 snakes that I paired up, if you can believe it. And some of them I don't think are going to go. And that's kind of why I want to do the ultrasound. I want to kind of see which ones are going to go and which ones aren't. I know for sure that some of them aren't, but I think some of them will. So I think what I'll do first here is kind of show you my little ultrasound machine. Of course I have an ultrasound machine. Oh, alright, so this is a really neat little gadget. And you can actually see the undeveloped eggs inside of the ball python. And you can see what size they are. And if they're you know, close to chicken egg size, then you know they're gonna lay. And if they're really small, like marbles or BBs, then they're not gonna lay at all. So this little gem here, it's I actually got this on eBay, and it's fairly cheap. I mean, it's about the cheapest. It's almost the price of a laptop, if you can believe it, which is pretty incredible. And it comes with this little cord and a little probe. And when you're probing ball pythons, you definitely want to use the linear probe. There's also a round probe, and you don't want to use that. And most of these come with the round probe. So, boy, I haven't used this in a while. If I can figure out where the on button is, it's over here. It's just a little toggle switch here. And then the screen comes on. I'm not sure if we'll have to plug it in or not, or how the battery is on this. It might be pretty charged still. I used it at the beginning of the season quite a bit when I was pairing up my males and females. And then this basically has a connection in the back. I'm going to have to use two hands to plug that in. Alright, so I actually plugged it in because I was just down to 2 bars on the battery. So I don't want it to run out in the middle. And with this probe, you definitely want to use like an electrode gel. You go through this stuff pretty fast, so I have quite a few tubes of that. And without the gel, you can't see anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this albino female up on the top. Okay, so at first I thought I almost need 2 different camera angles to capture it, but I think this is going to work pretty good. So basically what I do is I pull the tub, and I don't like to mess with the snake at all. I like to kind of catch them off guard. So what I'm going to do is about a third of the way up from the tail, right about here, we can take a look. Let's see what we see. See, in that big mass right there is an egg. So she's got some big eggs in her. So I think this girl will lay for sure. That egg is so big it won't even hardly fit on the screen. So then I can freeze it. Actually, what I think I'll do is I'll kind of poke around a little bit more. Yeah, look at those big old eggs. She's got a lot of eggs in there. So this girl's going to lay for sure. Those eggs are so big they won't even fit on the screen. So basically from there, what I like to do is just kind of wipe the gel off the snake a little bit. Just with a dry paper towel. And then what I do is I follow up with some water. So I'll get a little paper towel and then I'll get it wet. I'm really excited that we're seeing some nice big eggs in her. So that's pretty exciting. And then just kind of wipe her down. I'll put her tub back. So that's another one that's going to lay. That'll I fill up the rest of my rack here. Alright, so then if you take a look at the screen, I guess this is, I'm surprised this is coming out so well on this. Usually it kind of jiggles back and forth if you take a video of a computer screen. So, let me see. It's been a while since I've actually done this. I think it's under General. And then you hit Set to select, which is weird. And then you do distance. And then you basically go from here down to here, and then from here over to yeah. So you can't even hardly. It doesn't even really fit on the screen, but it's 22.3 millimeters by 32.1. Average of 27, but I'm guessing she's about ready to lay. So they say, I think it's like 42 or 45 millimeters right before they lay. So I would guess this girl is ready to lay pretty soon. Okay, then this girl, I know for sure she's going to lay because I caught her ovulating. But it'll be interesting. So on this, you just want to hit freeze again to unfreeze it. And she was kind of hissing at me when I was moving her around earlier the other day. So we'll see how she takes this. But there you can see the line between the eggs. The eggs are so big that there's another line between the eggs. Yeah, I've never actually looked at eggs this big. It won't even fit on the screen, but that is what a huge egg, like from there all the way over to here. That's like one egg. So yeah, it was interesting how that one looks. So she is definitely gonna lay. So another thing I kind of do when I'm between snakes is I always wipe the probe off and then just start with a new bead of gel. And you can kind of see how much gel I put on there. I put quite a bit. That's a good amount of gel. This girl, I don't think she's gonna go. She's really skinny. I thought she was pretty big at first, and she actually, I kind of paired her up right there. I have copulation the 5th of April, so she locked up a lot this year, and it just didn't take. It's kind of weird. Sometimes it doesn't take. So I'm gonna take a look at this girl. Yeah, take a look at those. So these little tiny, I don't know if you can see that from your distance, but these tiny little blips right here. Those are like tiny little follicles. They're like the size of a BB. So she is definitely not going to go. And then right here, if you see this dark matter right here, that's the gallbladder. So that, if you get that far, that's you're basically too far up on the snake. And then just past the gallbladder, she's kind of kicking me off a little bit. You can see these little tiny follicles right here. And it kind of helps to go up along the spine. You can see them better, like right there. I froze it right there. We can take a closer look at those. Let me wipe her off. So these follicles here, I would say it's pretty close to what you see kind of at the beginning of the breeding season. So I basically do the distance. Yeah, so it's a 7.1, a 5.8 with an average of 6.5. And usually once they, like, some people will wait until the follicles get to a certain size before they actually pair up their snakes, and usually they wait till 10 millimeters. What I like to do is I like to pair up the snakes when it's time to pair up. I just pair them all up. And I think the pairing actually stimulates follicle growth. Some people say that the follicle growth, you have to wait for that for the breeding, but I don't know. I just pair them up and see what happens. And this one, unfortunately, it doesn't look like she's going to go. Luckily, I had two lessers, and my other lesser is actually laid eggs already, so I was pretty fortunate there. So I really, really, really want this girl to lay eggs this year. This is my big female pied, and I bred her with my albino pied. And she's sitting at a kind of a weird angle. It might be kind of hard to get in. And then, so sometimes once you move them to try to get in there, she's actually cooperating, which is nice. We'll see what she looks like here. Boy. Sometimes it's hard on some of these guys, so looks like that's the gallbladder there. I'm too far up. I'm not seeing anything in there, which is unfortunate. Tiny, tiny little follicles. Rats. She is not going to go. See, once they start moving, then it becomes almost impossible because you have to kind of chase them around. But I did see some tiny follicles in there. Unfortunately, I don't think she's going to go. Which I kind of knew. She doesn't really look like she's full egg. She looks like she has some decent body weight, but that's kind of a bummer. So this is my albino het pied, and this is another one I really hope goes, because if she goes, I bred her with my albino pied, I'll get more albino pied, so these will be some pretty high-end snakes if she actually goes in. It does look like she's going to, hopefully. We'll see here. Yeah, I think those are big eggs right there. It's kind of hard once they get to a certain size, but you can kind of see the seam between the two eggs right there. She's going to start running. It's kind of hard to tell unless you actually move it around. See, there's another seam between the eggs. So she is definitely going to go. I'm pretty excited about that one. So in this one, I'm not sure you can see it from the angle you're at, but let's see if I can move her over a little. She's probably going to start running, but she's so small, I don't think she's going to go. Even though I paired her up. Let's see here. See, there's the gallbladder. Huh. I haven't seen anything at all. Sometimes it's kind of tricky too. You kind of have to get the right angle. And it kind of helps to go like right from the spine, just in just a little bit, and right along the spine, I found. But I'm not even seeing little follicles on this girl, so, oh, maybe right there. So, tiny, tiny little follicles. So, actually, I paired her up, and she stopped eating right away. She did lock a lot, which is kind of surprising. But she's a mouser. She'll only eat mice, and as soon as I paired her up, she stopped eating. That's why she's so small. She's actually the same age as my other pied female, which is hard to believe. And they actually started about the same size, and she went off food and the other one kept eating. You can see what happens when they go off food. They pretty much stay pretty small. So here's a big normal. This girl actually raised from a little tiny size of a hatchling to this big size here. And I'm hoping she actually goes. We'll see. Let's see. Sometimes I want to get like right here on a kink. So it's kind of hard to know exactly. It doesn't really work very good sometimes. Oh, I'm still frozen. Let's see. That does not look good. I don't think she's gonna go. These are the follicles right here. They look like they're about 5 millimeters. That's a bummer. I was really hoping she was gonna go. Not this year. Alright, this is the one I really wanted to ultrasound. So she is super big, like she's full of eggs. But she started slamming rats a couple weeks ago. Big rats. So I have no idea what's going on with her. And she's like in feeding mode, ready for another rat. So I have never seen a ball python go back on food before they lay eggs. But some people say that they have, so it's kind of a toss-up for this girl. I would say she looks like she's full of eggs, but without the ultrasound, your guess is as good as mine. So let me see if I can snap her out of the feeding mode here. Usually it just takes a little tap, and then we'll take a look at what she's got here. Boy. It's hard to believe she's just that big without being full of eggs. You know, I am not seeing anything that looks like an egg for this girl. Which is surprising that she's just that huge. I can't believe it. Without being full of eggs. That's almost unbelievable. Then I'm always like, am I reading this right? Sometimes I get it wrong, and I just can't get the right angle. And in this case, it's like, I don't know. She's just so big and massive, it's hard to believe that she doesn't have eggs. Oh, she's a little skittish too. I'm not seeing any eggs at all in this girl, which is surprising. I just can't. I'm not even seeing any follicles. Oh, wow, I can't believe she's that big without being full of eggs. That's unbelievable. I know I've been giving her a lot of rats. I actually just gave her a rat on camera, one of these last videos, but oh, look at the size of this beast. I can't even believe she's not full of eggs. And they say sometimes that you can actually palpate them, which means you can kind of feel the eggs as they crawl through your fingers. I can't feel any eggs in there. She is a monster. I can't believe it. I can't believe. I thought for sure she was going to lay, and I was expecting like 15 eggs from her because she was so big, but I guess she's not going to go. So there's another big snake in a big tub. I don't think she's going to go, though. But you never know, it kind of surprises me sometimes. Wow. Actually, that almost looks like... Those almost look like eggs there. She is going to go. Wow. Yeah, right there. Wow. I'm seeing some big eggs in there. When she lays, she's going to be super, super skinny. Alright, yeah. She's definitely going to go. Nice. Alright, so this is my last snake that I paired up. And this one is one of my more aggressive ones. She's not real friendly. So, we'll see on her. Maybe I can do it without touching her too much. I don't know. She's kind of at a bad angle. I don't know if I can see anything in there, the way she's sitting. I don't actually think she's gonna go, but look at that, huh? That's those kind of look like mid-sized follicles right there. Right there. Huh. Yeah, if this girl lays, it'll be like Christmas. That's kind of interesting. She's got some follicles there, but she's way behind all the other ones. She'll be my last one to lay, I'm sure. There's a little better angle. Wow, this is hard to get this girl here. Yeah, I'm thinking that right there is a... I'd say there may be 12 to 15 millimeters. Yeah, it's really hard to see with this girl. She just has a couple here. I'm having a hard time with this one. But I think it's right there. So right here. Yeah, I think she might go, but she's going to lay really, really late on this girl. She actually was super mean when she was smaller, but she hasn't snapped at me really for a long time. Now that I say that, she'll probably snap me. But we'll see. It seems like when they're smaller, they're a little more aggressive, and then when they get older, I think they kind of trust you a little more. The older they get, and the more you kind of mess with them. So kind of on this last snake here. This one's kind of, I would say it's kind of a little more difficult to say for sure if this is a follicle. It was a little fuzzy and kind of hard to see. But I'm about 90% sure that this is actually a follicle. So it looks like 21.7, 25.0, an average of 23.4 millimeters. So she's pretty far behind, but I think she's gonna go. So believe it or not, I pretty much burned through this whole tube of gel just on those 10 snakes. So if we take a look here, it looks like The albino is going to go. The albino het pied is going to go. This normal female will go. So that's 3. The pastel pinstripe will go, I think. That's 4. And then this one's going to go late. So that's 5. So half of the snakes that we have left. And if you figure, you know, an average like 6 eggs per clutch, that's another 30. So I'm actually going to run out of room for my hatchlings. So I'll have actually another 20. So that's actually good to know, kind of, you know, where you're at, because I could probably sell 20 by the time these guys lay. As a matter of fact, some of those are, I think they're going to lay pretty late. And then once they lay, then the eggs take 60 days to hatch. So I think I'll be okay. And if I do one show, I'm going to sell a whole bunch of snakes. So. So that's pretty much it, and the results were pretty surprising, I thought. Some of the ones I thought were going to lay, they're not going to, and some of the ones I didn't think would lay, they're going to. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.